everyone, Caren Glasser here, and I'm here with my co-host, Rob Glasser. Welcome to the premiere episode of Minding Your Mental Health. We talk mental health, we teach the importance of inclusion, and share why we should be kind. Join us in talking about the topics that shape mental health today. So, Rob, what's our topic today? What are we talking about?
Today we're talking about burnout and what you can do to ease the stress that comes from it.
So that's a big thing. So I'm sure people that are watching right now have heard the term burnout. They maybe have experienced burnout. So I guess my first question we would need to talk about is what exactly is burnout? How do we describe burnout?
What is burnout? Okay, so what is burnout? From what I've been reading, burnout is really a overdoing of something usually related to work, usually related to maybe chores at home, that comes to a end when you just kind of like blah and you just fizzle. Literally burnout, I guess.
Right.
Think of a candle when it goes down.
Exactly.
Burnout, it could be for anything. Usually, though, from the articles I've read, it's usually work related. Nowadays you have to do more work because of everything happening. You have to be on the job, on call, whatever.
Right.
But burnout really, it's not an old thing. It just, I think, has a name for it now. I think really it's just the idea of you did too much and you kind of feel like crap a little bit, because
Yep.
you just don't have the energy to do anything. Um, and
Right.
I think I kind of already answered what causes it too. I think it's just the overdoing
Right.
of any given task, I guess, at hand.
And I think a lot of us do that, right? A lot of us do overdo it because we go, go, go all the time. And so this is really an important topic. If you're just tuning in, we are talking, Rob and I are talking about burnout. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Put it in the chat. Tell us where you're here from because we'd love to chat with you. All right. So let's just keep going on this. We've said it's burnout. We're saying it's bad, but why is it bad? How does it affect us? It affects our physical and our mental health. How does it do that?
Well, similarly to what lots of other things would too. If you're not feeling well, your body kind of shuts down. You have to recuperate your insides, your outsides, your whatever. But it makes you feel lousy. Most of the time, what I've seen is tiredness, obviously because you are burnt out. Um, Headaches possible, upset stomach possible, and then all of that comes to a head when your brain just kind of goes and you just it doesn't want to work.
Right.
So really, yeah. So while we are talking mental health, I think what's more important for this particular is you want to make sure that it doesn't get to your body too bad before it does get to your brain. Because if you can stop it from hurting physically, you can
Right.
probably lessen the effect it's going to have on other parts of your body.
Especially the adrenal glands. I mean, so that actually shuts down when we are in burnout, when we are doing too much and we just, it literally can shut down your body, which can be really, really scary, actually. It's not just your mental health that it can shut down, it's your physical health that you can shut down. So I guess, we're going to just jump into the meat and potatoes on this one because we're going to talk about ways to cope with this. There are lots of ways to cope and handle stress of burnout. And I know one of my favorites is breathing. I know it sounds silly, but it is. It is one of my favorites. I literally, and I know that you do too, Rob. Sometimes when I just feel myself spinning out of control, I literally will just say, "Okay, I need to breathe." This is how I breathe. I know you do some other stuff. So what I do, and if you're watching and you want to try along with me and us, go ahead. So the first thing that I do is I literally inhale through my nose 4 counts. So I'm a really big, deep breath, okay? And then I hold it for 7 counts. The numbers are weird, and I think the numbers are the weird numbers, so you have to actually think about what you're doing and focus on it. So it's inhale 4, hold it for 7, and then exhale through your mouth 8 times, 8 counts, and then again hold it for 4. So I'm going to do that right now. If you're going to do it with me, go ahead. I like to close my eyes when I do this so that I can completely focus on my breathing. So here we go. Rob, do you want to count while we're doing this?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, exhale for 8. Here we go. Ready? Now.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I can feel the energy just kind of, I just kind of settle in. So what kind of breathing exercises do you do, Rob?
I well, for me, meditation kind of goes hand in hand with it. So
Mhm.
there's the breathing bubble that Calm has. I know you have Calm, where you watch the screen and it goes half circle for I think 3 seconds, pause for 3 or 4, and then breathe out for 3 as well. But meditation, I think, is easier generally because it kind of blends both together. And usually, when you're listening to a guided one, um, the person on screen says, okay, close your eyes, breathe in, hold. They don't necessarily have a count, but they kind of have
Right,
you follow along, and then they
right.
say, exhale, and then they go into, think about, what are you doing today, or what's on your mind, what thoughts are flowing, and that's kind of kind of interesting way to go about it. So that's one thing we try to do twice a day at least,
Right.
once in the morning, once in the afternoon here at home. Um, and yeah, I mean, with on YouTube or on Calm or whatever it is you're using, there's so many videos you can download or watch. A lot of them are free, and it's just nice to have different kinds of people talking. Sometimes it's a faster paced speaker. Sometimes it's kind of a long, the person likes to, which once in a while you're like, okay, finish the sentence, please. Come on. But that's the kind of stuff that we like doing over here because, again, it's easy to do. You turn the TV on, 5 minute, 3 minute, whatever
Right.
time you want to do. And it doesn't take too much time because it's that quick to do.
It's like a pattern. It's almost like a pattern interrupt, right? We're
Yeah,
spiraling, we're doing what we're doing, and we interrupt what's going on, right?
I think that, yeah, I think the videos we watch, that's kind of the point. I think the narrator's trying to say is they're trying to get you to to stop what you're doing and just have a brief moment of zen, so to speak. And that's one reason I like doing it. A lot of the time, there's ones that we'll do over and over again because the person speaking is really easy to listen to.
Right.
It's usually a shorter one, so if we're running short, we can still pop it in, get the meditation done, and then go on with the day. But yeah, I mean, breathing bubbles, meditation videos, it's all, if you want to mix it up a little bit and give yourself different things, go
Right.
for it. It's
And the other thing you can do is also start your day so that maybe you can stop burnout from even happening. I meditate in the morning. I get up in the morning. The very first thing that I do is I will throw on, and I put some of the places that you can get meditation, uh, guided meditation or music meditation, and all of these platforms that I just put up there have a free component to it. Insight Timer has free. Calm does. Spotify has meditation. I didn't actually know that. I listen to Spotify for music, but in doing a search, they literally have an entire section for just meditation. And as you mentioned, Rob, YouTube. YouTube is a veritable source for almost anything. So when you're searching for maybe meditation for burnout. Actually, do a search
yeah.
specifically for what you're looking for. What other ways can we cope or handle the stress? I know pets. Like my dog is laying over there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my cat's behind the
your
chair.
pets, yeah. Pets help us, right?
I mean, quality time generally is good. What if you're living alone, you have a pet. That's one
Right.
way. Living with a spouse, living with family, whatever it is. But just kind of hanging out and doing something. Even just as simple as watching TV, doing a coloring book, playing a video game together, whatever it is. Quality time is what you do. There's no answer to what it is.
Right.
Um, but yeah, just generally finding for me, like I'd say, find a hobby, find something that's fun to do. So it all goes back to crafting. A lot of people crochet now, um, painting. I'm looking around the room. I
Yeah,
have all these things that people
I do
do.
Zentangle. I do
Yeah.
Zentangle. I'm a
We
Zentangler.
were talking the other day about
Right.
taking pictures. People who like to do photography.
Right.
There's a slew of things you can do. But yeah, definitely. Even if you don't have the hobby or the thing to do, just sitting with somebody, with your pet, with whoever, is more than enough to just kind of veg and kind of just release
Right.
the components. And and like you said, I mean, when you wake up in the morning, the first, we don't do it immediately, but we do it a couple hours after we eat breakfast. We meditate first, or the first meditation. But yeah, I mean, if you can already jump in and kind of like have your process going and your thing, it's a little easier to do it because you're not running around trying to figure out what you have to do. So I
Right.
think that when you
Right.
wake up in the morning, kind of have the first two things that you're going to do ready to go, so you can just move and you don't have to think too much about what it is that you're
Right.
trying to get
You
done.
know, another thing that I do when I'm facing that burnout and I'm facing the stress, and again, people, you're watching this and you may think that, we're sitting here and we don't have that happen to us. It happens to everyone. It happens to everyone when you just feel like you can't do it anymore. One of the things that I do is I also journal, and again, pattern interrupt. I will write down immediate 3 things that I'm grateful for that will take me out of that stress and take me out of the burnout. Now, I'm not saying that this happens all the time and it works, right? It
Right.
doesn't always work, but don't, be so hard on yourself. Do something different. Are there other things that you do? I know you've mentioned crafting and you've mentioned meditation and breathing and pets. I know you do martial arts. I know that you do a lot of different physical activities.
Yeah, doing exercise generally helps. Doesn't really matter what you're doing, and this goes with the physical as well. When you move your
Mhm.
body, the endorphins, the happy chemicals in your
Right.
body perk up. So I definitely would say, and again, I always caveat with, obviously if you are at a disadvantage where you can't do that kind of thing, obviously, find something that
Right.
works. But for instance, though, we found a guy who does chair workouts, and we do weights and we do stuff, and it's short, but it burns like hell. Like, I mean, you feel it.
Right.
So even somebody who might not be able to stand up and do it, there are people that have channels that do stuff from the chair, yoga from the chair, whatever. But I think just generally, right now the sweet spot is kind of like 10-minute video, maybe 15
Mhm.
minute video, depending on how I'm feeling. But I think if you give yourself 10 minutes of physical,
Right.
that's going to kind of push you in the right direction. So that's, so other than the meditation, the other big thing I think is moving, doing something. Now, of course, where we are, it's 120, so we're
Yeah.
moving inside. But there's people that have the walking
Right.
channels. You can walk at home and do miles
Exactly.
and do whatever. Um,
I
yeah,
want to
I
I want to mention your YouTube channel right now, a little bit out of order, because on your YouTube channel you talk about a lot of fun things, and you talk about mental health issues, and you talk about all sorts of things. So you guys go check them out on Altered Universe on YouTube, and you're going to see um, things that you can do to actually help that burnout, from the craft activities to the meditation to the breathing. So Rob's doing a really great job over there. And he does it every day, right? So, what's your intention? You do these shows every day at 10 a.m., I believe, Pacific time, right? You
yeah,
get
I
on.
usually do one every 10 a.m. Sometimes I'll do an afternoon one if I have a really sparkly idea.
Yeah.
Um, but today, like for instance, I found a bunch of crafts you can do for under $5,
There
whereas
you
that you don't have to buy a lot of material. And while some of them were kind of a little oddball, not everyone's going to do them. There were a few that, for instance, it was making a cake platter by
go. Oh,
using a china that you already have that you don't care about painting, and all you need to buy is a can of glass paint, and boom, you now have a new table decor. They had stuff on this website, and of course, I always throw out the websites to the people so they can go look.
right, right,
Once in a while, if we're doing a bigger video, we'll do some of the crafts with the
right,
helping hands.
right,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's fun for me because it gives me something to do every day at 10.
right,
But depending on it, it could be an educational video, it could be a crafting
right.
video, but it's something just to make you think. And usually, when you think, you're not doing something else. And
Right, exactly. It's again that pattern disrupt. It takes
right,
you out of your head. You can also, though, we told you about free resources, but there are also things that you can get online. So we're going to show you a couple things that are our favorites. I know Rob has them. We're going to first show you the
oh, this,
stress
okay.
relief and
So
self
this one we
care.
just got, so this is brand new to me, but I have another one that is similar to it. So off of Amazon, of what you can stress relief and self care. Um, I don't know what category you put them under, but I think there's been cards like this before, and basically each card has an activity or a thought or something to do or think about throughout the day. So I pulled out a couple that are easy to explain. This one is stay hydrated. And really, the importance of this card is just telling you when you wake up, have a glass of breakfast. Overnight your body loses water, so you want to replenish. And then it tells you how many cups a man, a woman should have, which always seems like a way too much water, but and then at the end of it, it says, notice how much more energy you have after having a glass or a bottle or whatever. So this would be a doing one. This would be one that just kind
Got
of
it.
is it's fact, but it's also a try it and see what you feel like by the end of the day.
Right.
Do it for 7 days or whatever the thing is.
Because maybe it won't work for everyone. There might be things that will work for you and things that don't work. So what's another idea?
Okay, so another one put out self care, feeling good about yourself. So this one, kind of funny, but kind of cool. Give yourself a massage or a pampering treatment. So face mask, pedicure, or whatever. Whenever you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the present with the sensations of said massage, said whatever. And then as you go throughout the day, if you want to do it again or you need a little bit more, go back in, do it again. We have one of those things that you plug in that you can use, something
Right.
like that. So that's a self care one. But like you said, for the next one, the next pack we're going to look at, the same thing happened where we've gone through a lot of them, and some of them will skip because it's not that they're necessarily bad. It's
Right.
just kind of a funky, or it's something maybe we don't really deal with or worry about, and that's these guys here.
So
So,
first of all, Rob, what is CBT? What does that stand for?
okay, so that is cognitive behavioral therapy, which in layman's terms, it's getting you to do the things that you don't really want to do, basically. Um, but it's a type of therapy that gets you kind of out of your mind into the what if process kind of thing. So
Mhm.
we were looking through this pack earlier, and we found a couple. This one is build someone up. This one's actually really nice. You pay someone an unexpected compliment for any given behavior that might go unrecognized. It could be a skill, such as they reckon, or the guy at the grocery store bagging your food, or if your partner's cleaning the kitchen, say, "Hey, good job," something like that.
Right.
So this is kind of cool. This is one that I don't know if actually no, we have looked at this one before. These ones I like generally because it's a very easy idea for most people to get. You don't necessarily have to think too much. It's just kind of, hey, somebody does something nice, somebody does something whatever. Just say, hey, thanks, or hey, good job. And in the process, it's
Yeah.
supposed to make you feel fulfilled, so to speak. So that's one right there.
Right.
This one I like a lot, especially allergy season. Seasons are all weird, but this is notice the season. And this one basically is saying, take a look around and see what it looks like. What does the sky look like? What does the trees look like? What are the smells? The
Right.
birds out the window, are they different colors? Are they birds that you don't see?
Right.
And this is basically just a kind of a fun, it's a free thing to do. Look out your window. It's free. You don't have to buy anything. Um, Take a look outside. Maybe a car passes by. Maybe the roof of the house next door. Whatever it is that you see. And again, it's giving you a wonderment feeling, like, oh, this is kind of neat, and it's the idea of finding things you never thought you'd see, but in ordinary, you know.
Right.
And then the last one, really quick, was hands-free waiting. So the next time you're waiting in line, such as the grocery store, take a look around where you're at. Resist the urge to pull out your phone, which I know is really hard.
Oh yeah.
Instead, be fully in the moment. What do you see? Who do you see? This goes with the smells, the sights, bright colors. What do you see? So
Wow.
this one is kind of one of those, let's say you're at a theme park or something like that, and you're stuck in line waiting for the ride. Take a look around, see what's going on, and kind of give yourself something to do to pass the time while I want to be on that ride.
Cognitive. I mean, you're being cognitive of what's going on, and I think that
By the
that
way,
is
this is the box of it here too.
that's the box that it comes in, and I think so. It's all of these exercises. It seems to me it helps you be cognitive in things
Yeah.
that are going on in your world. Now, we're always since this is the premier show, we kind of want to let you know what's going to happen at the very end. As we get towards the end, we want to give resources in case you yourself are in a mental health emergency, or somebody that is. We have some resources for you. And so the NIMH, what does that stand for, Rob?
So this one, oh god, I should know this off the top
I
of my
think
head.
it's the
National
National Institute.
Institute of Mental Health, I believe.
Right, right.
Just one of the many that has phone numbers, emails, all that stuff that you can check out for free.
And NAMI.
Same thing, National Association of Mental Illness. I should definitely write this down. But the same thing. It's got the phone numbers. It's got emails, all that stuff as well.
So, and something that actually I'm thrilled to be able to announce, and for us to announce on the show, and that is the new short code phone number, 988. It just went live over the weekend. And it's like 911, but for mental health emergencies. And you can call 988, and no matter where you are, it will route you to the right place without having to go to suicide prevention, without having to go to NAMI. You literally just dial 988. So this is really, really important. I want to make sure that you follow Rob on his website. It's called Altered Universe. It's fun. AlteredUniverse.live. Also on LinkedIn. Rob is on LinkedIn. Just search for Rob Glasser. And also, since Rob is all about the nerdy stuff, he has some really cool nerd stuff. So go and check out his store. We already talked about his YouTube channel and Twitter. Rob, you're everywhere, I know. And so am I, but I'm just going to tell you, just go search for Caren Glasser on everything, and you will find me everywhere as well. Any last minute thoughts, Rob, on burnout?
Just take a few minutes to rest during the day and relax. And, your boss might say you have to get that thing in at whatever time.
Right.
Just tell him politely or her politely, just say, hey, I just need to sit down for a minute. Right. Nobody's going to hassle over a little bit of a power nap if you need it. But yeah, in all seriousness, just take a few minutes to, chill out, relax, do it your way, do what works for you. And, it's part of life. It's an easy way to.
Absolutely. And again, we talked about the stress relief and self-care, and we also talked about CBT. We're putting the links to those products in the chat. So go take a look at them. Go check it out. I think that these are resources. They're not that expensive. Go and check them out. They will be helpful. Rob, thank you for a great premiere. I can't wait for the next show. Join us next time on Minding Your Mental Health. Go out and give somebody an awesome day. See you next time, everyone. Goodbye.